This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We get set here for Game 2 between ICC and Gulf Coast. If you're just now joining us, what an exciting ball game as ICC rallied with 2 runs in the top of the ninth to win 10-9. The First American National Bank opening pitch coming your way at 5:57 here in Game 2. That's a First American National Bank opening pitch for 5:57 here in Game 2. This is Kyle Krieger that's leading us off. He takes that pitch for a strike, and this is the same umpire that got the treatment from Coach Collier in the first game of the day, and those first 2 pitches low and outside but called a strike. And we'll see how interesting this strike zone stays here. Krieger at the plate now. Will swing on this one, fouls it out of play for a strike. We'll try to bring you the starting lineups as we go throughout the day. As I'm still writing those out right now. Got those in. I do appreciate Don Hammock going to get those lineups for us. Austin King will be on the hill for ICC to start this contest. So typical Game 2 starter on the weekend here. And King, he's struggled a little bit in his last few outings as his pitch is fouled back. This is Kyle Krieger at the plate. So forgive me while I continue to write these out real quick. That way we can go over them in between innings here, as 2-2 is the count. Now 2-2 is the count after that last foul ball. A little bit of a mix-up on the lineup for Gulf Coast as they're swinging strike 3 that time, and after 2 very low pitches called to start the contest, Krieger had to go down and chase that one, swinging strike 3 for the first out of the contest. And now this will be Jackson Lancaster coming to the plate.
Number 10, Jackson Lancaster.
Is that pitch missing for a ball to Lancaster? This is Smith on the hill here for the Bulldogs in Game 2. So that was a wicked tail on that one. Clipped the corner of the plate for a strike. Truett Smith. As I've got the lineups made out now on my score sheet, as there's a pitch across for a strike as well. Well, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. And it's quite, well, I'll save that story a little bit later on, as you know my voice is about to go out, but I have a trick that a former good friend of mine told me that I'll share with you on helping with a sore throat and doing a broadcast, as that pitch is outside for a ball. 2-2 now is the count here to Jackson Lancaster. We're going to put it to the test today. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out is the situation now here for Jackson Lancaster. There's strike 3. Beautiful pitch there. Got Lancaster looking at it. Lancaster didn't like it, but it did paint that corner for another Renaissance Bank strikeout. Second of the game for Truett Smith.
Number 18, left fielder, LeBryant Siddell.
And now this will be LeBryant Siddell coming to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the first. This game's scheduled for 7 innings here. And Perk, ICC, won the first game 10-9. After scoring 2 runs at the top of the ninth, it was a wild pitch that allowed the game-winning run to score. Austin Powell scored that run for the Indians as they won it in dramatic fashion. Kind of been the MO of this ICC team this year, never say die attitude. Curveball missing low for ball 2. 2-0 now is the count. So 2-0, 2 outs, nobody on. As Sedale took a healthy chop at that one, came up empty, and fouls it back for a 2-1 count now. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs here. LeBryant Sedale trying to extend the inning. Looks at that pitch, high and outside for a ball. 3-1 now goes the count here to the left fielder, LeBryant Sedale. As I said, if I sound a little funny here in game 2, my voice is starting to slip away on me. So tomorrow I'll do what my mother told me a lot as a child. Shut up. That's how I'll spend my Saturday. As this is going to be a fly ball out to the right side. It should be knifing out of play, and yes, it will. So now the count will go full 3-2 here to LeBryant Sedale. Truett King, we'll look at some Sonic stats on him, as he is 3-1 on the year with 42 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 48 hits, 30 runs, 22 of those earned. He's walked 31, struck out 36, has a 4.64 ERA. So waiting the payoff pitch here to LeBryant Sedale. He's already got 2 Renaissance Bank strikeouts, and that one is going to be low and outside, and that will be a walk issued to LeBryant Sedale. A 2-out walk now will bring up Justin Medlin, the first baseman here for the Indians. And well, he had 2 home runs in the first game, a solo home run and a 3-run shot. And that 3-run shot, my oh my, it is still traveling now, folks, as it was climbing as it went past the, you got to call it a fair pole, because if it hits the pole, it's a fair ball. If it hit the pole as a foul pole, then it would be a foul pole, but it's traditionally known as a foul pole. But it was still traveling up into the trees whenever it exited the ballpark. That pitch on the corner for a strike. Dana Kirk chiming in with her remedy for a sore throat. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. What's some of those home remedies for Twitter? Put those on Gore Sports, though, if it's at Gore Sports for those remedies. We don't want to put anything crazy on Let's Go. As there's going to be a ground ball. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it's going to be a foul ball. And so Medlin will get a new life here. 0-2 is the count to Justin Medlin. If Medlin were to reach, then it'd be Brett Coker at the plate. So Medlin taking his time, coming back to the plate here. Will draw his weapon with 2 outs and a runner over at first base. He's heading to Middle Tennessee State, and I'll tell you what, Middle Tennessee has gotten a steal in this guy right here. A solid first baseman all season, can hit for power, can also come in and pitch pretty well, as this one's going to be fouled back right to your living room, and the count will stay 0-2. So it was a strikeout swinging to Kyle Krieger, a strikeout looking to Jackson Lancaster, and a walk issued to LeBryant Sedale, and this is now Justin Medlin at the plate with a 0-2 count after that foul ball. Back-to-back foul balls to keep the at-bat alive here for Medlin. That pitch outside corner for strike 3, and as we said, this is at home. This is the umpire that Rick got after in game 1, and that pitch, a breaking pitch that clipped just enough the corner of the plate for him to call strike 3. So 3 Renaissance Bank strikeouts there in the top of the first inning to get out of a slight jam. Not really a jam at all, as it was a 2-out walk issued there. LeBryant Sedale stayed at first. So we've already talked about the first 4 batters of the contest for ICC. Kyle Krieger, who is playing at second base. Jackson Lancaster, or excuse me, actually Krieger is at third base here in game 2. So Kyle Krieger at third base. Jackson Lancaster is in center field. LeBryant Sedale is in left field. Justin Medlin is at first base. Brett Coker will be the shortstop. Lane Domino will be in right field. Ray Sandroni will be catching in game 2. The DH will be Dorian Herron, his first start of the season. And Braden Ellis will start at second base. The pitcher here in game 2, as we talked about, is Austin King. Let's go inside the numbers on Austin King. These stats being brought to you by the Sonic of Fulton. They're 5-1 on the year, he's pitched 50 1/3 innings, giving up 49 hits, 27 runs, 23 of those earned. He's walked 21, struck out 41, has a 4.11 ERA. He'll be heading to Alabama State. For Gulf Coast, this is how their lineup will look like. Williams, Hancock, Davis, Parker, O'Shea, Hawthorne, Ray, Lee, Cannon, spelled with 1 N in the middle instead of 2. And we've already talked about Truett Smith on the hill here. I did not write down the positions for Gulf Coast, so I will go back and try to find those. So, yeah, here we go again. It's going to be Williams, the center fielder, Hancock, the shortstop. Third baseman is Davis. Parker will be in right field. O'Shea, the first baseman, Hawthorne in left. The DH is Ray. The pitcher, or no, the second baseman, that looked like a 1, but it is a 4. The second baseman is Lee, and Cannon is catching here in game 2. So this will be Williams to get things going here for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first inning. ICC put a runner on after a 2-out walk, but couldn't do anything with him. So the Bulldogs going to try to start things off on a positive note here. Fastball there for a strike for Austin King. The Indians won it, a wild one, 10-9 in the first game of the day, trying to earn a sweep of the Bulldogs here as that pitch across for strike 2. And I tell you what, the umpire's given both these pitchers the river so far, batter's box to batter's box. So as a batter, you got to have the mentality of coming up and swinging the bat this in game 2. As that pitch is going to be fouled off. 0-2 now is the count here to Williams. Williams playing in center field. 0-2 is the count. So 0-2 is the count. Pitch on its way. Fastball, grounder up the middle. That's going to be a shortstop. Throw over is in time for the putout. 6-3 of Williams for out number 1. So a nice ground ball that Brett Coker had no issue with. Zipped it over in time for the putout. 1 away now. And this will bring up the shortstop Hancock here for the Bulldogs. So with 1 out in the inning, Hancock will dig in with nobody out. Scoreless here in the bottom of the first inning. Game 2 between ICC and Gulf Coast. Austin King on the heel here. That pitch missing low and bounced across for a ball. Hancock, the shortstop. Then Davis, the third baseman, is on deck. ICC put a runner on in the top half of the inning. It was a 2-out walk issued to LeBryant Sedale, but then a strikeout looking to Justin Medlin. Ended the inning in a big way there. Sun is out. It's an absolute gorgeous day here at Perkinston. And a big swing and a miss there as Hancock couldn't catch up with the fastball. Evens at the count now at 1-1 with 1 out. It was partly cloudy and got pretty cloudy throughout the first game, but the clouds have basically disappeared. There's a few still out there, but nothing to really cause any cover. That pitch is going to miss low for a ball. 2-1 now goes the count here to the shortstop Hancock. Take a look at some stats on Hancock coming into this series. Miller Hancock is batting .371 coming into this series, has a .460 on base percentage and a .543 slugging percentage. So winning the 2-1 offering here. Flare out to right field, and that's going to be a base hit. First hit of the day, and Hancock, who has been a tough out for the Indians, continues to be one here in game 2 as he just blisters that one out to right field. And now with 1 out and a runner on first, this will bring up Davis. Alden Davis, my oh my, he had himself a game in the first game of the day. He was a triple away from hitting for the cycle. And so Davis will try to keep the hot bat going here for the Bulldogs. 1 out and a runner at first base. Davis couldn't find that one as he saw a pitch that he wanted to do something with. Swung on and missed wildly. 0-1 now is the count here to Alden Davis. So there is a runner at first base. That's Hancock, Miller Hancock, who singled with 1 out. Gulf Coast softball, they were playing Kahoma today. They got the sweep as that's going to be a flare, and it's going to be caught! And I couldn't even get the switch over that time. What a play by Justin Medlin. And that would be our What a Play Wednesday if I could have switched the camera fast enough. Medlin makes a leaping catch in foul territory, then lands on the bag for a Little Caesars double play to end the inning with an unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning there. We're scoreless after 1 here in game 2. We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as what a play by Justin Medlin. Unfortunately, just could not quite get the camera switched quick enough as he made a leaping catch down the line to rob what could have possibly been an extra base hit for the Bulldogs and maybe even scored a run. And when he caught it, he landed on the bag and turned a Little Caesars double play unassisted to end the inning there. So that was a big-time play. As this is going to be Coker at the plate. Well, Coker, he was caught an unfortunate break in the first game as there was a bang-bang play that looked like he was safe, and the umpire called him out, and that broke a 20-game hit streak for Brett Coker as he pops this one up and out of play for a strike. So now the count goes 1-1 here on Brett Coker. Coker, Domino, and Ray Sandroni is due up here in the top of the second, scoreless. As Coker puts a flare out to the right side. Right fielder's going to go back about 2 steps in front of the warning track and kept underneath it for the out for out number 1. So the first time the Indians put the bat on the ball in play, and a out was recorded there. So now this will bring up Lane Domino, the right fielder. He's batting in that 6th spot. Kind of a dead ballpark right now as it was an exciting game 1, so some of the fans trying to collect themselves here and get back in this one. I myself are battling through a sore throat, but as I said, we'll talk about that trick that's going to help me get through this. As that pitch in the dirt for a ball. 1-0 is the count to Lane Domino. We'll go through both lineups before we get to that, or at least the Indians lineup. As Lane Domino playing in right field, Ray Sandroni is on deck. That pitch, a beauty, but called a ball. Guess it fell off the table a bit too soon as those were called strikes against Kyle Krieger and Jackson Lancaster. Called a ball there on Lane Domino. So 2-0 now is the count, 1 out. Domino couldn't catch up with that one there. Great location on that pitch from Truett Smith to even, or make the count go 2-1 here on Domino. So Lane at the plate. ICC trying to complete the sweep of the Bulldogs as this pitch fouled back and off the netting. 2-2 now is the count. Bulldogs, though, need to pick up a win here to try to better their position heading into the best-of-3 series that will start next week. They on that borderline right now, either hosting or traveling. The Indians, they'll have to wait until the Region 23 tournament as there's a shot, and it's going to go for a base hit. Nicely done that time by Lane Domino. As Domino just went with the pitch and got the first hit of the day. Both teams with 1 hit in the contest so far. And Domino with plenty of speed now on the bases. And this will bring up Ray Sandroni, the catcher here for the Indians. It was Austin Powell catching game 1. Ray Sandroni, as typical, coming in to catch game 2 here. So with 1 out and a runner at first base in the speedy Domino, Sandroni to the plate. The sophomore out of Tupelo takes that first pitch, missing high for a ball. Well, it was a great play defensively by Justin Medlin, who caught a line drive over his head, and when he landed, just landed on the bag to turn a Little Caesars double play. Call that an extra most bestest Little Caesars double play, like Jacob Judon likes to call it, as that pitch outside for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. So 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Runner over at first base. That is Lane Domino, who singled for the first hit of the day for the Indians. with 1 out in the inning. Sandroni, that pitch paints the corner beautifully for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. So Truett Smith on the hill here, trying to see if he can work around a 1-out single here from Lane Domino. We'll see if the Indians get aggressive and maybe put him in motion, as he is one of the top guys in stolen bases this year behind Jackson Lancaster. That pitch outside, good job by the catcher, Cannon, to slide out and catch that one. If that one gets away, then Domino advances with ease, but instead he has to stay at first. 3-1 now is the count here to Ray Sandroni. So Sandroni awaiting the 3-1 offering here. They check Domino over at first, now deliver. Sandroni pops this one back. It's going to get back and out of play, and now the count goes 3-2 here to the sophomore catcher. So we're in the top half of the second, scoreless here between ICC and Gulf Coast. With the win, ICC improved to 38-6-1, 23-4 inside conference play. Gulf Coast slipped to 26-15, 16-11 inside the MACJC. Runner goes, little hit and run action, and this ball is going to be fouled off and out of play. And so Domino will have to head back to first. Well, good job that time by Sandroni just to find a piece of it. He's trying to sneak that one down the right field line, but just a bit behind it. And the count will be 3-2 here on Sandroni. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. A runner over at first base. Scoreless contest here in the top of the second, game 2 between ICC and Gulf Coast. And there's strike 3 right down Broadway, and Sandroni did not like it. But I've got to say, it's been a pretty good looking pitch there, and that's going to be the 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. And now this is going to be Denari Heron coming to the plate. The DH will dig in with 2 outs and a runner at first. So a nice job that time by Truett Smith to come back and win that battle and find the 2nd out of the inning. So Heron, who is getting his first start of the season, doesn't have a lot of at-bats on the year, and will be playing the DH here in game 2. Heron swings on the first pitch he sees. Fly ball is going to be to center field. Center fielder will go back and squeeze it for the out. So a nice pitch to get the out there by Truett Smith. And again, the Indians put a runner on first base, but can't do anything with him. So the Indians get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We come back, it'll be the 4, 5, 6 batters due up here for Gulf Coast. It'll be Parker, O'Shea, and Hawthorne. 0-0 your scores. We head to the bottom half of the second.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion, or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or online davisfordsales.com.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here, and it's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head to the bottom half of the second, where to be Parker, O'Shea, and Hawthorne due up here for the Bulldogs. Brandon Parker came into this series batting .359 on the year, .509 his own base percentage, and .718 is his slugging percentage. He'll be followed up by Cullen, O'Shea, and then D. Hawthorne. So that will be the lineup scheduled up here for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the second. Austin King still on the hill here. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Brandon Parker. He's batting in that 4th spot, playing in right field. So 1-0 is the count. That pitch missing as well. 2-0 now goes the count here to Parker. So thanks to a Little Caesars double play, a beautiful play by Justin Medlin to get the Indians out of that first inning, a unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning there in the bottom of the first. 2-0 is the count. King's pitch coming. Took a little bit something off that one that time. Found the zone for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count. Game 2's, as always, scheduled for 7. Indians scored 2 in the top of the 9th to rally for a 10-9 win in the first game of the day. It was a wild one. That pitch missing low and outside. 3-1 now goes the count to Brandon Parker here. So Parker will dig in with a hitter's count. King's got to come back and see if he can find a strike here, maybe just get a ground ball to see if he can get out of this situation. 3-1 pitch coming. And there's, nope, called it a strike. A very late strike call as he was about halfway down to first base before the strike was called that time. So Parker will have to come back and battle with a 3-2 count here. Well, he didn't work with purpose, I guess you say, the home plate umpire on calling that a strike. So he's going to have to reset now. 3-2 pitch coming from King. And that one's going to be in the dirt, and now he will get to head down to first with a leadoff walk, as he thought he got on the previous pitch, but now gets it there. And so now this will bring up Cullen O'Shea. So O'Shea will come to the plate with a runner at first and no outs. He's playing at first base. D. Hawthorne is on deck right now. Fisher Ray is in the hole for the Bulldogs. We're scoreless here in Game 2, bottom of the second. Bulldogs trying to earn a split here after the Indians rallied for a 10-9 win in the first game of the day. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Sandroni tried to hold on to it for a second to kind of frame it up. The umpire was having nothing to do with it. And so 1-0 now is the count here for O'Shea. So that pitch right down the middle for a strike, keeping the count now at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs. There is Brandon Parker, the right fielder, is over at first base after drawing a full count walk. Snap throw over to first. Ooh, bang, bang play, but Parker gets dirty and gets back without an issue that time, as King really just kind of let him kind of walk out, and as soon as he got just settled, zipped it over to first, and a good job by Brandon Parker to get back in a hurry to avoid the tag. Runner goes, little hit and run action. This fly ball left side, and it's going to be dangerous, and no, there's a great play, and now they're going to have to relay this one in. A chance to turn 2. Are they going to do it? The throw is going to be high, though. And so the ball will go into the dugout, so he'll get second base either way. The Indians nearly turned 2 that time as the throw was rushed, because he was about 2 or 3 steps around second that time. The catch out in the left field by LeBryant Siddell. And now the runner will go to second after nearly getting doubled up. The throw was rushed. I don't know if even if a good throw, if he would have been out that time. So the runner will go to second after the ball goes into the dugout. There is 1 out now, but a runner in scoring position, and this is going to be D. Hawthorne. More importantly, what that does is it does take the double play out of play, as this is going to be a little flare out to the shortstop, and Brett Coker takes care of business there for out number 2. Good pitch that time by Austin King. Came in on the hands of Hawthorne, who popped it up, and Coker took care of business there, and now this will be the DH, Fisher Ray. So Ray will come to the plate. He had a clutch double that pushed across 2 runs for Gulf Coast in the first game of the day, trying to find a clutch 2-out hit here with a runner in scoring position. Swings on the first pitch he sees, fouls it off, and back for strike 1. So 0-1 is the count. There's 2 outs and a runner on second here for the Bulldogs. This is the regular season finale for ICC. I'm pretty sure it's the regular season finale for Gulf Coast as well. They're just going to have to wait and see how the rest of the division or conference plays out, as there's a swing and a miss for a strike. 0-2 is the count. For Gulf Coast, though, you got to be thinking, find a way to win this one to split with the Indians and at least salvage a win today. See if they can get in that top part of the bracket to see if they can at least host that best-of-3 series. You don't want to fall in that lower half, because I tell you what, top to bottom, the 9 teams that are going to be in this this region tournament that's coming up in 2 weeks, it's going to be tough. So that best of 3 series is going to be just as equally tough. So 1-2 now is the count with 2 outs. Ray at the plate here. Can we find our first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Austin King? It'd be big if he could. Awaiting the 1-2 pitch here from King. Checks the runner at second. Delivers. This was going to be foul back and out of play. 1-2 now is the count with 2 outs and a runner at second. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the second. The Indians put a runner on first in the first and a runner on first in the second, but couldn't do anything with them. The Indians got a Little Caesars double play to get an unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning in the bottom half of the first, trying to get out of the inning here with the runner in scoring position for the first time today for either team. 1-2 pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there, the first of the day for Austin King. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com, member FDIC. We've played 2 here in Perk. We'll take a timeout, and we're scoreless. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we do appreciate the fine folks at Davis Ford. Looking for a new or used vehicle, stop by and see them at 904 West Main Street in Fulton, or visit davisfordsales.com. Give them a call at 862-3711. They're located right near the Davis Event Center behind the ICC Soccer Complex. We do greatly appreciate them and everyone that has helped sponsor ICC Athletics this year. A record-breaking season on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Last year we had a record-breaking season of 41,000 viewers on our broadcast. This year we have blown that out of the water, folks, as with the upcoming postseason run, we are expecting to eclipse the 60,000 viewer mark. So that first pitch missing outside for a ball. This is Braden Ellis, who is playing second base. He did come in and pitch in the first game today. He did get the win, so he improved to 1-0 on the year. That first pitch missing, second pitch coming across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count here to Ellis. Ellis fouls this one back and out of play. 1-2 now is the count. So it'll be Ellis, Krieger, and Lancaster at the plate. So 1-2 is the count. So Ellis going to have to protect the plate here. Swings on this one, pops it up, and this one's also going to get out of play, so we'll stay at 1-2. Do want to say a special hello to the ICC family members that are watching today. We've already heard from Mike Powell, who was watching in Game 1. The Mineys checking in as well. Judon's mama, checking in, making sure he's behaving. And they're going to say strike 3. Got him looking that time. And that's going to be the 5th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day here for Truett Smith. So Smith has figured out this strike zone, and he is attacking it aggressively. We've got some more Renaissance Bank scoreboard updates. Game 2, Northeast at Hines there in a lightning delay shortly after the start. Pearl River and Northwest. Pearl River's up 5-2. That's in Game 2 after 2. Holmes leading Southwest 6-1 through 5 innings of play. And in Game 1, it's Meridian leading Colin 13-6 in the bottom of the 6th. And Jones leads East Mississippi 5-0 through 7. Those two pitches missing outside. 2-0 now is the count here to Kyle Krieger. Krieger struck out swinging in his first at-bat of the day. Trying to redeem himself here. Second time through the lineup for the Indians to see Smith, as that one just missing. As Krieger held off on that one. It was called a strike against Krieger in his first at-bat, so that one not quite locating the same spot. 3-0 now is the count. See if he has the red light. He does, and that's going to be a ball 4 walk. Well, you had to kind of pause for a second if you're Krieger, because we saw Brandon Parker take off and get halfway down to first base before it was called a strike. He eventually did come back and draw the walk to get on base. He was left stranded in scoring position, the only runner that's advanced into scoring position. So now with 1 out and a runner at first base, this is going to be Jackson Lancaster, who struck out looking in his previous at-bat. Lancaster sees this one up the middle and is going to sneak through for a base hit. Nicely done by Jackson Lancaster. And a clutch hit there, second hit of the day for the Indians. Let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay, as that one just returned to center. A little CNI single that snuck his way out to center field. The pitcher did a good job of just trying to turn around and get a glove on it, just couldn't quite find it. And so now with runners on first and second, and 1 out now, this is going to be LeBryant Sedale. Sedale walked in his first at-bat of the day. As Sedale did have a solo home run in the first game of the day. Swings on this one, rips it, and if it stays fair, it's trouble. It will. And this should score a run here, and Sedale's going to look at second. The throw will get the runner at third, but Sedale will get the double. And so a nice relay in, the score run, so it is, or the run scored, I should say, as it's now 1-0. So LeBryant Sedale gets the RBI double to score Krieger. Lancaster, who was caught in no man's land as he kind of checked up for a second, he is retired 7-5 on the putout for the second out of the inning. So ICC leads it now 1-0. And a heads-up relay in that time. And now this is going to be Justin Medlin, who struck out looking in his previous at-bat. So that's Sedale, who's standing at second. There's 2 outs, and Justin Medlin at the plate. Breaking pitch, and Medlin says, my, oh my, can I see that one again? As he could have served that one up. As Medlin is going to head over towards the warning track, so he's going to have to run off for a second and find some dirt, as it is just turf around home plate. So if you do have to do that, which Medlin does often because he doesn't wear batting gloves. He's a little old school, this Justin Medlin, and it works. He had 2 home runs and 4 RBIs and 3 runs scored in the first game of the day. This one popped up left side. Should have plenty of room over there. A lot of room as he's going to go in and makes the play, reaching over the guardrail and gets the out. A great play there by the third baseman, Alden Davis, to come up and get the second out of the inning. Good job, Alden Davis. That wasn't an easy play at all, and tip of the cap if you're an ICC fan on a great defensive play there. So the Indians do get a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. ICC leads it 1-0. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Austin King retaking the hill here. Let's hear a break from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back as we go to the home half of the third inning. It'll be Lee, Cannon, and then back to the top of the lineup with Ike Williams. So this is Castor Lee who will be getting the at-bat here. As Lee will start us off, takes that pitch in there for a strike. A little bit of a wide strike zone that varies from time to time on up and down so far in the contest as the lights are on here in Perkinston. It was a double by Sedell who plated Krieger. And that one hit the lights and sends glass shattering all around the fans over there. And, you know, they typically say anytime you come to the ballpark, you see something you've never seen before. Well, actually, I've seen that before. Actually, at ICC last season. So luckily no fans were directly underneath that and appears to be no issue. So waiting the 0-2 offering here from King. Pitch is on its way, and the way the umpire set up quickly. Thought he was going to call that strike three. If so, might have to call the riot squad as that one looked a little low. But he did call it a ball. Pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike three. They'll have to throw this one down to get the out, and they will. So that will go as a Renaissance Bank strikeout. 2-3 on the putout of Castor Lee. And now this will bring up Cannon. As we talked about, interesting, make sure that's how you say it before. Yep, Cannon is spelled with one N. Garrett Cannon, he's out of Hernando. All right, so I've got a couple of text messages, people asking me on Twitter what it is that I do for a sore throat when I do a broadcast. All right, so I was very fortunate in life to be friends with Jack Crystal back in Tupelo. Would often go eat with him at Danvers. For some reason, that was his spot. And so Jack told me one day, because he heard I had a little bit of a raspy voice, is there's going to be a ground ball to second, should end it there, and it does. So we'll continue. Or excuse me, that's the second inning, so we'll continue the story here. So, yeah, with 2 outs now, we go back to the top of the order and Ike Williams. So, one day I was in the Danvers eating lunch with Jack, and he noticed my voice was kind of failing on me like it was earlier today. And he told me, Gore, if your voice ever gets like that in the broadcast, find some ketchup. And so I went down, and I have a tray of nachos with a side of ketchup. I'm not mixing the nachos and ketchup, so don't worry about that, folks. But I am between innings and trying to enjoy just ketchup to keep the voice going here. And so far, so good as it's worked so far. So I don't want to jinx it. I want to knock on wood here as that pitch finds the zone for a strike. Wow, looked up that time, and Ike Williams thought the same. 1-1 now is the count. There's 2 outs. Williams grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat of the day. So, yeah, if you ever feel like a sore throat coming on, just get some packets of ketchup and enjoy as that pitch missing just outside for a ball. Maybe a makeup call after that previous pitch called a strike. 2-1 now is the count. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs is the situation here. We're in the bottom of the third. 1-0 ICC with the lead. Ground ball. This is going to be a foul ball. As Ike Williams to the plate for the second time today. Nope, no certain brand of ketchup. Somebody texted and asked that. Just regular old ketchup. Eat it by itself. But it works. 2-2 pitch coming. This one fouled back and out of play. And the count will stay at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here to Ike Williams, the center fielder. Can King find another Renaissance Bank strikeout? Yes, he can. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout there. His 3rd Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com, member FDIC. We'll take a break and let's hear from Renaissance Bank and be back with more. ICC leads it 1-0 after 3 complete.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Nah, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare.
Gotta be well done.
Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger?
What? Turkey's for Thanksgiving, man.
I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that.
Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as ICC leads it 1-0. Due up for the Indians will be the 5-6-7 batters, Brett Coker, Lane Domino, and Ray Sandroni. Coker flew out to right field a couple of steps in front of the warning track in his first at-bat, looking to redeem himself here. He had a 20-game hit streak broke after a bang-bang play that looked like he was safe but didn't go in his favor, so a tough break there for Brett as that breaks that 20-game hit streak. Check swing, and it's rolling down the line, and it's going to stay fair. Tagged him out that time, and I tell you what, when the baseball gods are frowning down on you, things like that happen. As that ball rolled foul, then hit a clump of grass and rolled back fair, and the runner tagged him out, or excuse me, the first baseman tagged out the runner is what I meant to say, for out number one. And now this will bring up Lane Domino. Domino singled out to left field, but was left stranded in at first base in the second. Indians with 3 hits, Bulldogs with 1. A breaking pitch outside misses. So Domino now will step back in. 1-0 is the count here to Lane Domino, playing in right field where he has all season long. Swings on this one, rips it. The shortstop's going to make a hopping catch for the out. Domino tips his cap as he's heading down to first, saying good job, as he made a, I wouldn't call it a leaping catch, but slightly leaping catch to get the second out. A nice play there by the shortstop, Miller Hancock. And now this will be Ray Sandroni coming to the plate. So a very quick inning brewing here so far in the top of the 4th inning. ICC with a 1-0 lead. A check swing, ground out, and then a line out to the shortstop as that pitch in there for a strike to Ray Sandroni. As Sandroni will dig in here trying to spark a 2-out rally. Sandroni pops this one up left side of the field. Left fielder is going to come in and squeeze it for the out. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for the first time here in game 2. No runs, no hits, no errors as we're in the top of the 4th. We'll take a break and switch to the bottom half of the inning. It'll be Hancock, Davis, and Parker due up here for the Bulldogs. 1-0 ICC with the lead. Let's hear from Cagle Eye Center and more here on the ICC Sports Network.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Austin King taking his final warm-up tosses. Had a little extra time there as Ray Sandroni, who was the final out of the fourth inning, had to get his gear on. As 1-0 is your score. ICC with the lead here in Game 2 over Gulf Coast. We're heading to the home half of the second inning. Miller Hancock, who singled but was erased on a Little Caesars double play in his first at bat of the afternoon, will dig in here, trying to spark a rally for the Bulldogs. The first game of the day, we saw 19 runs. We're 3.5 innings into this game. We've only got one so far. Hancock shows bunt, pulls back, and takes it for a ball. Davis, who was a tough out, lined into that Little Caesars double play. That was recorded by himself by Justin Medlin on a great play, a leaping catch that would have took away a extra base hit. And when he landed, as this pitch is popped back, it looks like it's going to get out of play, and yes, it will, right on top of us here in the ICC Alumni Affairs and Foundation broadcast booth. Find out how you can contribute to Itawamba Community College through the Foundation, or join the ICC Alumni Association by visiting iccms.edu. So 1-1 now is the count. This is Austin King on the hill and Miller Hancock at the plate. Miller's got the lone hit of the game so far here for the Bulldogs. 1-1 is the count. Fastball missing low, 2-1 now. Goes the count here to Hancock. So 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs as Hancock is starting us off here in the bottom of the fourth. That pitch in there for a strike. 2-2 now is the count. And that pitch in the dirt. So 3-2 now is the count. King going to have to deliver his best pitch here. Fastball and foul back. Good job that time by Hancock to find a piece of that one, foul it back, and keep the at-bat alive. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Game 2, ICC leading it 1-0. They rallied with 2 runs in the top of the ninth to pick up a 10-9 win. It was a wild pitch that allowed the eventual game-winning run to score. Braden Ellis picked up the win, and Kyle Krieger got the save. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Great location on that inside fastball as Hancock just could not find a piece of it. And that's going to go for the 4th Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. So now this is going to bring up Alden Davis. He grounded into that lined into that Little Caesars double play that we talked about and will continue to talk about, probably in multiple opportunities throughout the contest, as Davis now will look to redeem himself here with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 4th inning. Sun starting to set here on the coast as that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Lights are on here at Ken Curley Ferris Field. Our next broadcast will be Sunday as we head over to Southwest. As a breaking pitch that comes in inside, Krieger's going to have to hurry. The throw over is in time. Well, Krieger, who is playing third base here in Game 2, made a nice looking play there as the breaking pitch jammed him on the hands. Thought it was going to be a slow roller enough to cause some issues for the Indians, but a nice play there by Kyle Krieger to record the 2nd out of the inning. But yeah, to go back and complete that thought about Sunday's broadcast, that game will be coming your way at 2 o'clock here on the Red Channel. That First American National Bank opening pitch scheduled for 2 o'clock. First American National Bank, follow the flag from Iuka to Tupelo, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. And this pitch fouled back as this is Brandon Parker, who walked and headed over to second. Was nearly doubled up after a nice play out in left field by LeBryant Sedale on a fly ball by Cullen Shea, but the throw was rushed and got into the dugout and allowed him to advance to second, and that's where he was left stranded. This pitch popped up. Trouble. Right fielder, though, Lane Domino, is going to get to it. I thought it was going to be a little bit popped up higher than it was. It carried a lot further than I thought. So just like the Indians did in the top half of the inning, the Bulldogs returned the favor in the bottom half. They go 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 4 here in Perkinston. We'll take a break and hear a word from our sponsors. And let's hear from First American National Bank and more right here on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back now as we move to the top of the 5th inning for ICC to be the 8-9-1 batters due up. Heron, Ellis, and Kyle Krieger due up here for ICC. Well, Denari Heron swung on the first pitch he saw and flew out to center field to end the second. It was a hard hit ball, but ballpark just a little bit too big for him to be able to sneak it out of here. So Heron will lead us off here. And takes a look at that pitch outside corner for a strike. We talked about it, Heron. One of those sophomores we honored the Mississippi Delta game, getting a start here at the DH position in game 2. Looks at that pitch, going outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. We do have another final. This is going to be baseball finals here. Game 1 final is that pitch missing. Jones 5 East 2. So Jones will finish second. And they'll either pick up Hines or Northeast in the opening round of the playoffs that start next week. So that pitch drifts high for a ball. And 3-1 now goes the count. That's a Renaissance Bank scoreboard update. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. RenaissanceBank.com, member FDIC. And Heron will take that pitch for ball 4. And he will head down to first with a leadoff walk. And so now this will bring up Braden Ellis. Ellis struck out looking in his previous at-bat. And he is trying to get something going here. Meridian, they knock off Colin 17-6. So Meridian secures home field in the best of 3 series with that win, as Ellis is going to lay down the bunt, and it's going to be bobbled around, and that's going to be an error. So now the Indians will have 2 aboard here, as they just caught him with a surprise bunt that time. Pitcher came up, got a glove on it. Ellis has got good speed, and still think a good throw would have got him out there, so that's going to have to go for an E1. Yes, it will, on the play. And so now with runners at first and second, this is going to bring Kyle Krieger to the plate. Krieger is 0 for 1. He walked and scored a run, and his previous at bat struck out looking, or excuse me, struck out swinging in his first at bat of the day. I said Northeast at Hines is in lightning delay, as this one fouled off the awning here in front of us and comes back into play. Pearl River, they were up 5-2 after 2 over Northwest. Holmes led 6-1 over Southwest. That was through 5 innings of play. And Colin apparently is eliminated, as Hines and Northeast will get the final 2 spots of the playoffs after they lost that game 17-6 to Meridian. Krieger shows bunt. It's going to lay it down. This is going to be a sacrifice bunt. Throw over to first, which is covered by the second baseman. And the runners do advance 4-3 3-4 on that putout on that sacrifice bunt. That sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU. Follow them on Twitter at ICC BSU. So now this will be Jackson Lancaster coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He was thrown out trying to advance to third on that double by LeBryant Siddell. He also struck out looking. Swings on the first pitch he sees. Center fielder will go back, and it should be deep enough to plate the run. Heron will head home, and that will get the run across. So the sacrifice fly from Jackson Lancaster gives the Indians a 2-0 lead. And a nice job there by the Indians playing some small ball. Advanced them around on a sacrifice bunt by Kyle Krieger. And then that sacrifice fly out to center field by Jackson Lancaster. Pushes across Dorian Heron. And so now with 2 outs, this is going to bring up LeBryant Siddell for ICC. Siddell doubled in a run in his previous at-bat. Would love to see him do that again here. He's going to take time as Truett Smith taking a little bit too much time for Siddell's liking, so they'll reset now. 2-0 ICC with the lead. We're in the top of the 5th inning. This game scheduled for 7. Breaking pitch, and it's a beauty for a strike. Yes, it is. 0-1 is the count here to LB. We talked about he's 1 for 1 with the walk, an RBI double. Justin Medlin is on deck if LeBryant can keep the inning going here. So LB at the plate. Looks at that breaking pitch and just outside. Couldn't quite get it to bend enough for find the strike zone, and evens up the count now at 1-1. Another Game 2 final. Holmes defeats Southwest. The Bulldogs close out the season by winning 3 of their final 4 contests. And neither Holmes or Southwest will be advancing to postseason play. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Siddell chases a fastball outside. Beautiful pitch that time by Truett Smith. And now the count goes 1-2. You've got Braden Ellis over at second base. He reached on an error. Advanced to second on a sacrifice bunt. A smart play, though, by the center fielder, Ike Williams, to throw to third versus throwing home to keep him at second on that sacrifice fly by Jackson Lancaster. LB pops this one up. High fly ball center field. Just dipped underneath that one a little too much. Should be a routine play, and it is for out number 3. But the Indians execute nicely on some small ball as they get 1 run on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. It was a sacrifice bunt and a sacrifice fly that plated Heron. And now ICC leads it 2-0. We'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back, everybody. ICC leads it 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Updating Twitter now, so please hold 1 second. As Austin King still on the hill here, that pitch missing low for a ball. Pitch across for a strike. That pitch missing high for a ball. 1-1 now, or 2-1. Yep, 2-1 now is the count. This is Cullen O'Shea at the plate as that pitch missing low. 3-1 now goes the count here to O'Shea. O'Shea, Hawthorne, and Ray due up here for the Bulldogs. They trail at 2-0 as we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. This game's scheduled for 7. As that pitch is going to miss low for a ball, and that'll be ball 4. Second walk of the day for King as that puts the leadoff hitter on, Cullen O'Shea. And now this will bring up D. Hawthorne. Hawthorne is 0 for 1 as he popped up to the shortstop for the second out of the second inning. So Hawthorne will try to spark a rally here for the Bulldogs. They trail at 2-0. Bottom of the 5th, game 2, trying to avoid the sweep of ICC. ICC scored 2 runs at the top of the 9th to find a way to win 10-9, as this is a pitch that's going to be a fly ball out to the right side and going to be an out recorded. First pitch he saw, and he flew out to Lane Domino, and 1 away now as the runner tracks back to first, and this will be Fisher Ray, the DH, coming to the plate. Talked about it, Fisher, his dad, the former football coach at Bruce High School, a good friend of mine, and seeing Fisher get recognized during sophomore recognition makes me feel old is what that does. So remember when he was just a wee lad back in his Calhoun County days. Is a big swing and a miss there from Ray. There is some action now in the Bulldogs bullpen as we creep later into the contest here. Austin King getting the start and still working pretty effectively so far. Does have a 2-run advantage as this pitch is fouled back off the netting. And 0-2 now is the count here on Ray. So 0-2 is the count. Ray's going to have to guard the dish. Runner at first. That pitch missing low. Not a bad spot to miss that time by Austin King to see if he could get him to chase one. A good eye on the part of Fisher Ray, though, to hold off. 1-2 now is the count. There is 1 out and a runner at first base after a walk was issued to O'Shea to start the inning. So winning the 1-2 offering. This is going to be a rip out to the right side, and that's going to go for a base hit. The runner should be able to get to third. No, they're going to hold him there. Domino got to it a lot quicker, and he's got a pretty impressive cannon out there. So that's going to be the second hit of the game for the Bulldogs, and it belongs to Fisher Ray. And now this is going to bring up Castor Lee. Lee struck out swinging. The ball got away, and he was put out 2-3. And so now, tying run is on the bases here. Go-ahead run is at the plate here in Castor Lee. There is 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Indians seeing if they can get out of this inning with no damage done. Bulldogs, however, want to spark a rally. Grounder. And it's going to be to the third baseman. Steps on the bag, and they're going to say a foul ball. And Ray Sandroni confirming with Krieger and Coach Collier that it was a foul ball. Well, if you remember in Game 1, Coach Collier was very animated, got after the home plate umpires, and, well, a couple of folks, including myself, went down and talked to Coach Collier and said, Rick, remember, you get ran, that means you're not coaching in the playoffs. So we kind of need you for that, Coach. And he said he's going to sit back and relax, and hadn't heard a peep or even seen Coach Collier other than coming out in the third base coach. Breaking pitch, fly ball, left side. LeBryant Sedale's going to go back, camp underneath it, and squeeze it for the out. Well, Bulldog fans got on their feet in a hurry, but just not enough to get out of the ballpark as the wind is blowing in from that way. And so that's going to be a fly out to left to LeBryant Sedale. And now this will be Garrett Cannon, the catcher, coming to the plate. He grounded out to second in his first at bat of the day. King going to try to pitch around a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the 5th. Tying run is at first base. There is 2 outs here in the inning. So the Bulldogs going to try to spark a 2-out rally. The Indians were able to play the run with 2 outs. That was back in the 3rd. A little bit of small ball and a sacrifice fly pushed across their 2nd run. That was in the top half of the 5th. So Cannon at the plate. Swings on the first pitch he sees. This one's going to be foul and get out of play over the dugout on the first base side, occupied by Gulf Coast. So 0-1 is the count. There is 2 outs. Runners at first and second here for the Bulldogs. Indians lead it 2-0 here in game 2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. This game's scheduled for 7. That pitch in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Sandroni. Thought the runner was going to go for a second. If he did, Sandroni would have had a pretty good shot at throwing him out at 3rd, but wisely headed back to 2nd. Did Cullen O'Shea. So 1-1 now is the count here to Cannon. He's catching here in game 2. Tying run is at first. That's Fisher Ray, who singled out to right field for the 2nd hit of the day for the Bulldogs. ICC has 3 hits on the afternoon. Snap throw to first, and looked like it was going to be airmailed for a second, and Justin Medlin, who was laid back and not really charging in on the play there, as it just went straight to him, kind of getting a chuckle out of that one from Sandroni. Don't know if they might have been trying to bait the runner going to 3rd, as Medlin still laughing about that one. Trying to actually showing Ray how he needed to release the ball that time. 2-1 is the count. 2 outs. Runners at first and 2nd. King checking the runner at 2nd. Now will deliver home in that pitch. Frame job done nicely that time by Ray Sandroni, as the pitch was high and outside, but quickly yanked it back into the strike zone. The umpire bid on it. And now 2-2 is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Boy, it'd be a good time to pick up another Renaissance Bank strikeout here from King. He's got 4 so far this afternoon. And instead, that one's going to be just a bit outside, and the runners will advance on the wild pitch. And so a big miss there, as Sandroni was trying to come up and barehanded. If he would have probably had a chance to make it interesting. Not going to say he would have had the out at 3rd. Would have been interesting with a good throw. But now that's a big play there, because now the tying run is in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th. And the count is full here to Cannon. And then we go back to the top of the lineup. And Ike Williams, ICC fans wanting to see see Ike Williams come up in the bottom of the 6th. So 3-2 is the count. Tying run at 2nd here for the Bulldogs. Cannon fouls it back, and we'll do it all over again. Good job by Cannon that time to find a piece of the ball and keep the at-bat alive. So King, with 4 Renaissance Bank strikeouts on the day, would be a big time to pick up his 5th here. 3-2 is the count. 2 outs. Runners on 2nd and 3rd here for the Bulldogs. Tying run at 2nd. And there's strike 3. Well, the Bulldogs thought it was ball 4, and the umpire called it ball 3 instead, and that was called it strike 3 instead, and that was a big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there, the 5th of the game for Austin King. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back to action, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to move to the top of the 6th inning. For ICC to be Justin Medlin, Brett Coker, and Lane Domino due up. Take a look at a Sonic scoring update here as we move to the top of the 6th inning. It was 1 run in the top of the 3rd for ICC off an RBI double from LeBryant Sedale. And ICC executed a little bit of small ball and a sacrifice fly. It was Dorian Herron reached on a walk, advanced to second when Ellis reached on an error. It was a sacrifice bunt by Kyle Krieger that moved them over into scoring position, and a sac fly out to center field by Jackson Lancaster that pushed Herron across and made it 2-0. That pitch, a breaking pitch that found enough of the zone for a strike. Justin Medlin not necessarily happy with that call, so he'll take a few extra steps away and come back to the plate now. 0-1 is the count here to Medlin. He had a pair of home runs in the first game of the day. Is that pitch missing outside? 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs here. As that pitch missing, 2-1 now is the count. Medlin going to the turf, trying to dry off his hands, as we said. Doesn't use batting gloves, so old school approach to the plate here for Medlin. Swings on this one, pops it up. Left side, left fielder's going over, dancing around. Now will cut back across and squeeze it for the out. So a fly out to left field will be the first out of the inning here in the top of the 6th. ICC still with a 2-0 lead here. And this will bring up Brett Coker, and we'll have a quick trip out to the circle. Let's take a break and hear from Sonic and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes, half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
Oh, it's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
And welcome back, as we do have a new pitcher in the contest here for the Bulldogs. This is going to be Jacob Roberts. He's a sophomore right-handed pitcher. He is 1-1 on the year. He's pitched 7 1/3 innings, given up 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He's walked 4, struck out 11, has a 1.23 ERA. He'll be greeted by Brett Coker, who is 0 for 2 on the day, or I should say on the game here. Broke a 20-game hit streak, going hitless in the first game of the day, and that was after a questionable bang-bang call over at first base. Coker takes a look at that pitch, high for ball 1. So Coker and Domino due up here as they greet Roberts to the contest. Fastball, and it's a beauty for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. If either Coker or Domino were to reach, then it would be Ray Sandroni up next, or due up for the Indians. He's in the hole right now. Or, well, not really, as Domino's in the hole. Big swing and a miss there. 1-2 now is the count to Brett Coker. He flew out to right, a couple of steps in front of the warning track in the first at bat of the day, then tried to check his swing, and it was a ball that rolled foul, then hit a clump of grass, rolled back into fair play. And when you're just not having a good day at the ballpark, those type of plays happens, and that was just a tough break there on Brett Coker as he was tagged out by the first baseman. That pitch missing. 2-2 now is the count. And Coker looks at that one. They're going to appeal down to first and see if he went. Oh, wow. They said he did. Well, a big-time break there for the Bulldogs, as that goes for the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Roberts. And not trying to sound like a homer, even if that one went in favor of ICC, if they say they were pitching and they called the Gulf Coast batter out, that would have been a gift for either team pitching in that situation. So a break there for the Bulldogs. So with 2 outs now, this is going to be Lane Domino at the plate. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled. That was to left field, but he was left stranded in the second, then lined down on a nice play by the shortstop. That's so nice that Domino even tipped his cap to him as he was running the play out, as that ball inside nearly hits Domino. Steps out of the way of it, and 2-0 now is the count. Remind you again, our next broadcast is scheduled for Sunday, as I'll be cutting across the bottom half of the state on my southern tour, if you will, on Sunday to catch up with the softball team as they close out their regular season with a doubleheader against Southwest. A beautiful pitch there, called a strike. Yes, it is. 2-1 now is the count. Depending what Jones does today against East Mississippi, if it was a split, then ICC would host the state softball tournament. And if Jones sweeps East Mississippi, then Jones would host the state tournament. Let me see if I can find that on Twitter for you, by the way. A betting man would put their money on Jones taking care of business.
Jones is up 12-2.
Okay, so Jones is up 12-2, Don says, with a rain delay in the first game of the day. So that means they'll have to finish those two tonight, and that's going to be a late night for the Bobcats there in Scuba. If you've never been to Scuba, man, you're missing out. A booming metropolis there. Oh, my goodness, as they just posted a picture of them working on the field right now. A lot of quick dry out there, and everybody except me and Don. I see Chris out there for Jones raking the field as well. So whatever it takes to get it in. As Sandroni now at the plate as Domino was walked. As that one fell back into your living room. The young man, I guess, doing PA here for Gulf Coast, looking like my partner in crime, Jeremy Kennedy, who helps out with some of the broadcast. Been doing this for almost 20 years, and the ball comes to the net, and when you're an old pro, I guess you can say, like, or I should say old like some of us, not a pro, as the runner goes and the ball will get away and Domino will head to second without an issue, but sometimes you just don't flinch, and Jeremy, he's a flincher. And that's part of my favorite part of, like, when I do call baseball, softball games, I do get a chance to sit behind some fans. I like to see who can kind of tough it out and who bails out on those type of situations. 1-1 now is the count as Domino heads to second. The ball got away, so it was a stolen base as he was going on the pitch. That ball in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by Garrett Cannon. Yeah, you want to go find Twitter. Don, who was that? Was that the Jones or the East Mississippi Twitter account? So East Mississippi's Twitter account, EMCC Athletics, and you'll see what they're dealing with up there in Scuba. And that pitch is in there for a strike. A beautiful pitch out of the hands of Jacob Roberts that time to even the count at 2-2. But yeah, to go back, a booming metropolis there in Scuba. You've got the Scuba Junction and the other gas station. Don't even know what the other gas station's called, but Scuba Junction, they got some pretty good chicken over there. And there's strike three. Oh, wow. Everybody except the home plate umpire thought that was strike 3, as that was a beautiful pitch. I have no idea where that one missed. So a break there. I guess it must have been low. So a break there for Ray Sandroni. You got to think if this one's anywhere near the zip code of a strike, you got to call it here if you're that home plate umpire, and that's going to be a walk. Man, tough break there for Roberts. That looked like a pretty strike 3 call, and instead it's going to be a walk issue to Ray Sandroni. And now this will be Dorian Herron coming to the plate, the DH. Denari will come in. He is 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. He did score a run, and that's the difference in the game right now, is he scored on a sacrifice fly by Jackson Lancaster. We're in the top of the 6th. Herron at the plate, trying to see if he can spark a 2-out rally here. Looks at that first pitch, and they're going to say it was a strike. Said he committed to it. Pretty much, if you think about swinging, he's going to call it a strike, as both teams have been kind of a victim of questionable check swing calls. Consistency, that's all that matters, though, as Herron looks at that pitch. Low for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. As Steve Diffie likes to say, consistently inconsistent. And that's a pretty good saying in the MACJC, but for the most part today, and I'll be honest, for the most part of the season this year, the umpires have been pretty solid from what I've seen baseball-wise, as Herron looks at that pitch inside for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. So Herron's going to have to come back and guard the dish here behind the count, 1-2 with 2 outs, and Roberts will step off. Winning the 1-2 offering here. Runners at first and second. Pitch coming. And he just found a piece of it that time to keep the at-bat alive there. Good job by Herron to clip it, foul it back, and keep it at 1-2 with 2 outs. So, yeah, it's going to be a late night in Scuba before we find out if ICC will be hosting the state softball tournament. Jones was up 12-2 in game 1 before a rain delay. Snap throw to second is not in time. So 1-2 is the count. Herron at the plate trying to see if he can spark a rally here, see if they can pick up one of those insurance runs, as this one is fouled back. Herron was thinking about doing something big with that one, fouled it back, and will keep the at-bat alive here at 1-2. Take a look at some scores throughout the league. Holmes defeats Southwest 6-1. Jones 5-2 winners over East Mississippi. Meridian 17-6 winners over Colin. Northeast defeats Hines 6-2. Northwest falls to Pearl River 11-6. And there's strike 3. Beautiful curveball there. Got Herron looking, and he'll go down looking for the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. That will end the top of the 6th and get the Bulldogs out of a slight jam there. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom half of the inning right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
And welcome back as Austin King taking a few warm-up tosses here as Sandroni having to come back and put his gear on after he was on the bases whenever the final out was recorded. So King staying in here. Take a look at some more scores. Holmes defeated Southwest 6-1. That's game 2 final. Game 2, East Mississippi leads Jones 3-1. That's in the top of the first. Northeast leads Hines 5-0. That's after 1 inning of play. And Pearl River completes the sweep of Northwest with an 11-5 win in game 2. As King's first pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Top of the lineup here, Ike Williams, Miller Hancock, and Alden Davis all due up. We're the bottom of the 6th inning as bunt is laid down. King gets it, going to have to throw and hurry, and does for the out. Good job that time by Austin King. I actually thought the ball might have hit the batter before he came out of the box because it took a funky hop, but I guess the home plate umpire said it did not. And so 1-3 on the putout for out number 1 here. This will bring up Hancock. So Hancock's going to try to fire up the bats here for the Bulldogs. They trail at 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. This game's scheduled for 7. King's pitch missing low for a ball. Well, if you're Coach Collier, you would like to see Austin. Well, I mean, you've got plenty of time to get some rest, so I was going to say you'd like to see Austin go the distance, but maybe get a little bit more confidence by Austin going the distance in this contest. He does have 5 Renaissance Bank strikeouts so far in the game. As that pitch missing low for a ball, 2-0 now is the count here to Hancock. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled, was erased on that Little Caesars double play back in the first. He also struck out for the 4th strikeout of the game. So 2-0 is the count. They're going to check swing, and they're just going to call. If you think about swinging, he did not even remotely come close to completing the swing there. So the umpire's just trying to get this game over with. Anytime they have checked down to first, they have said he swung each time, and ICC got called on one earlier, and that one right there was even worse than the ICC one that got called. As that pitch up high, 3-1 now is the count. It was pretty much the equivalent of him just basically turning his shoulders and not even moving the bat, and he said he went. So 3-1 now is the count. So 3-1 is the count. This flare out to the right side. Could it get out of the ballpark? No, it's not, as Lane Domino will circle back in and get the out. Well, I thought there for a second it might have a chance to carry. Domino was running towards the fence and then loop back in to get the second out of the contest, and now this will bring up Davis. Davis 0 for 2, hit into that Little Caesars double play, which is an amazing play by Justin Medlin. Caught the liner down the line and landed on the bag for the Little Caesars double play. So now Davis at the plate. He was he wasn't red hot, he was white hot in the first game of the day. He was a triple away from the cycle, had a pair of singles, a double, and a monster 3-run home run, as he was 4 for 5 in the game. So 1-0 is the count here to Davis. As that pitch drifts high for a ball, 2-0 now goes the count to Davis. If he were to reach, then Brandon Parker would be up next. Parker is 0 for 1 with the walk. Indian fans would like to see him starting the bottom half of the 7th. 2-0 is the score. King getting set to deliver. Swung on a miss as Davis took a healthy chop at that one. 2-1 now is the count. So King starting to labor a little bit, being taken a little more methodical with his motion. 2-1 pitch coming, ground ball, jammed in third baseman. Krieger's going to boot it. So Davis will reach on the error that time, as that one just took a funky hop and came off the knee of Kyle Krieger. So a 2-out error now, and the tying run will come to the plate in Brandon Parker. Parker 0 for 1 with the fly ball out to right field to end the 4th. He did walk and advance to second when he was almost doubled up on a fly ball out to left field, but the throw to second got into the dugout and allowed him to go to second on the play. Ball in the dirt, or the turf, as I should say, as this the turf around home plate. 1-0 is the count here to Parker, the right fielder. He's batting in that 4 spot. .0 is the count. There is 2 outs here in the inning. Grounder back to King. King finds it. It's pumped up, claps it back into his glove, and tosses it over for the putout. Nice play by Austin King to get out of the inning and preserve the 2-0 lead. We'll take a break and come back with the 7th inning. ICC leads it 2-0. Let's hear a word from all of our sponsors and more here on the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Your success at ICC starts with freshman orientation. Learn what the college has to offer, register for classes, meet your new ICC family, and discover all the ways to get involved across our 3 locations.
Hey guys, it's Madison, an orientation leader here at ICC. After you apply for enrollment, sign up for orientation because spots are filling up fast. Find out more at iccms.edu/orientation.
Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 is your score as we head to the top of the 7th. Forgot to update Twitter, so doing that now. So Braden Ellis will come to the plate here for the Indians, as he will start things off here. Ellis is 0 for 2, did reach on an error. He's also struck out as that pitch missing inside for a ball. Follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. If you're away from your computer, you can keep up with the games there, and we'll have Sunday's games coming your way starting at 2 o'clock as softball will be at Southwest. That pitch missing inside, bounces off the inside part of the leg of the home plate umpire, and judging by his reaction, that one kind of hurt. Hopefully it may have just caught him on that shin guard. Well, he committed the cardinal sin. He rubbed it. So now it is going to hurt. So 2-0 is the count here to Braden Ellis. He's batting in that 9th spot, playing second base. As that pitch missing outside, 3-0 now is the count here to Ellis. We do want to say a special thank you to all the fine folks here at Gulf Coast. Don and crew doing a great job as always, and you got a good one in Don down here as their SID, and Ladd, and we really do, even though we're a long way away from each other down here, as that pitch should be in there for a strike. Yes, it is. 3-1 now is the count.
Restart.
At 8:15. So they'll have an 8:15 restart at East Mississippi and Jones. So we'll be keeping an eye on that one, because if somehow East Mississippi comes back and rallies from a 12-2 deficit to earn a split, but they still have game 2 to play. And so they're going to roll right into game 2, and there's going to be a walk issued to Braden Ellis. So appreciate Don letting us know on that one. The reason why we have vested interest in that, again, if there's a split in that game, and we'll say this, we had a very wild game at East Mississippi in game 2 that ICC had to score 12 or 14 unanswered to rally to win that game, and it actually turned into a run rule game before it was all said and done. Kyle Krieger now coming to the plate. So an 8:15 restart time there in Scuba, as Krieger fouls that one back for strike 1. Well, if you're watching in Fulton, if you want to go watch game 2, you got time to get there. As that 8:15 restart, so a little less than an hour, takes about an hour 45. Well, let's say 2 hours, because not everybody drives like me. 0-1 is the count after that fouled bunt attempt from Krieger. Snap throw to first, no tag, as Ellis gets back without an issue. Ellis playing second base, Krieger playing third base. Krieger's pretty much been second base throughout the entire season this year, and getting a stab at third base here in game 2. Tries to bunt that one back, and it catches the catcher, so the home plate umpire is going to walk this one out to the pitcher here and allow Cannon to kind of catch his breath here. Sun is tucked away, still just not pitch black dark. I woke up in a rush this morning, and I always forget for some reason that Wiggins, where we stay in Wiggins compared to campus, I always think it's like 10, 15 minutes. It's not even 10, 15 miles from the hotel, and so I got down here in a hurry, which is good because I'm typically late. Habitually late. Let me say that instead of typically. Not a very good attribute of Gore. 0-2 is the count here. So Krieger's going to have to guard the dish here with the 0-2 count. Snap throw over to first, maybe to buy a little bit more time for the catcher here. Snap throw was not in time as Ellis got back without an issue. Krieger fouls this one off, and we'll stay at 0-2. So had a little hit and run action going that time. Ellis will have to track back to first. Well, my ketchup has worked, so Jack Crystal, as he said, Gore, if you ever get a tickle in your throat or start losing your voice during a broadcast, eat ketchup. As Krieger chases a high fastball, goes down swinging for the second time today. And that is going to be the third Renaissance Bank strikeout for Jacob Roberts. And so now with one out, this is going to be Jackson Lancaster coming to the plate with a runner at first base. And may have a change here for the Bulldogs as he's going to make a slow roll out to the mound. We're going to take a break and hear from Sonic and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes, half price during happy hour.
Bacon, Swiss cheese, juicy chicken on a King's Hawaiian bun.
Oh, what else is it saying?
It's saying you still owe me that $30.
Hang up!
Hurry into Sonic for the King's Hawaiian Chicken or Burger Club and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The newly formed Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi wants to make sure you are receiving the best orthopedic care possible. Our staff of 7 experienced, board-certified surgeons specialize in a specific area of the body and can treat you with the newest and latest technology available to fast-track your road to recovery. Call us for same-day appointments at 662-377-BONE and come see us at Gloucester Creek Village in Tupelo. At the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our specialty is you.
And welcome back, as this is going to be Nick Hertz coming into pitch now, as he'll be greeted by Jackson Lancaster. Zips that first pitch in there for a strike. Hertz is 1-0 in the year with a save. He's pitched 15 in the third innings. He's given up 15 hits, 12 runs, 10 of those earned. He's walked in, struck out 9, has a 5.87 ERA. Ground ball should be routine here. Bobbles and does get it, though. A nice job by the second baseman to eat that one up. It took a funky hop on him, but he was able to get it, and Lancaster will reach on the fielder's choice as Ellis is retired 4-6.
Left fielder number 18, LeBron Sedell.
So Sedale will dig in. Swings on the first pitch he sees and rips one out to left field. So a nice at-bat that time by LeBryant Sedale to go out there and just rip that one. Take a look at that one on the Little Caesars Instant Replay. Is a nice hit that time by LeBryant Sedale. That's going to be his second hit of the evening. And now this will bring up Justin Medlin for ICC.
Number 25, Justin Medlin.
So Medlin will dig in here. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Is that pitch missing for a ball? Borderline pitch, not going the way of the Bulldogs there. East Mississippi leading Jones 7-0 in the top of the second. That's game 2. 1-0 is the count. Medlin at the plate. Medlin looks at that pitch, missing a curveball just outside. 2-0 now is the count. Well, just had a pair of home runs in the first game of the day. He's 0 for 3 with a fly ball to left in his previous at-bat. He struck out looking in his first at-bat of the day. 2-0 is the lead. We're in the top of the 7th. And a wicked breaking pitch that came back in. And that one did not find enough of the zone, though. And 3-0 now is the count to Justin Medlin. Another one of those situations where you just don't want to pitch to the guy, so it might be one of those unintentional, intentional walks. And that one, though, comes back in. A nice tail back into the batter on the fastball there. Got a lot of movement on that. One pitch, and this one foul back out of play. And it'll be 3-2 now here on Medlin. He will go to the dirt and try to get his hands dried up. So now the count full here to Justin Medlin. Got to be careful in this situation. Medlin, a power hitter here, and Hertz is going to step off. 3-2 is the count. 2 outs. Runners on first and second here. ICC trying to find some insurance runs. And, of course, when we talk about those insurance runs, we talk about your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. Go by and see the former ICC All-American at South Adams Street for all your insurance needs. And that's going to be ball 4, so they're going to elect to not even flirt with giving him anything to hit. And that'll be a walk issue there, and so that will load the bases. And this will be Brett Coker. Well, as we talked about it, Coker came into this series with a 20-game hit streak. It went hitless in the first game of the day, so Brett, now would be a good time to start your next 20-game hit streak. So with 2 outs and bases loaded here for the Indians in the top of the 7th. ICC trying to pick up an insurance run here. Coker takes a look at that pitch, high for a ball. You've got Lancaster, who is got plenty of speed over at third base. LeBryant Sedale is at second, and Justin Medlin is at first. Coker fouls that one back and evens the count now at 1-1. Good pitch that time by Hertz as he got him to reach out for it. One and one now is the count. There is 2 outs. Coker at the plate. Coker rips one, and this is going to drop for a base hit, and it's going to score 2. Big time hit there for Brett Coker. And the Indians get 2 more runs on the board, and that's just what the Indians need. They lead it now 4-0. Big time clutch hit there for Brett. Let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay, reminding you the quickest pizza in Itawamba County just got faster thanks to the new Little Caesars app. Download that. You can do everything from build your favorite pie to order it and pay for it from your phone. Do everything but pick it up, basically, thanks to your phone. That's our friends there at Little Caesars in Fulton. 4-0 is your score. After that 2-run single by Brett Coker, runners on the corner as Justin Medlin went from first to third, and now this is Lane Domino. Domino is 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a walk, and a stolen base. He's been left stranded both times. Domino swings on this first pitch, fouls it out of play. 0-1 now is the count here to Domino. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. You got Coker over at first base. Justin Medlin is at third. He drew a walk, and then it was a 2-out, 2-run single by Coker. Domino sends this one high into the night. Center fielder will camp underneath it for the out, and that will end the inning. But the Indians do get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. Big-time insurance runs being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, as ICC leads it 4-0 now as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Austin King back out one more time for the Indians. Let's take a break and hear from Davis Ford and more here on the ICC Sports Network.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as ICC 3 outs away from completing the sweep of Gulf Coast. They scored 2 in the top of the ninth to pick up a 10-9 come-from-behind win in a very wild game in the first game of the day. They just got a 2-out, 2-run single from Brett Coker, who had a 20-game hit streak coming into it, snapped in the first game after a questionable call. And that would have been great to see Brett if he would have actually gotten the right call on that. His hit streak would now be 21 games straight. Instead, it goes back to 1. So it'll be O'Shea, Hawthorne, and Ray due up here for the Bulldogs. Well, good news for the Indians. A grand slam could only tie it in this situation as O'Shea stands in, takes that first pitch for a strike. Well, the Bulldogs are in the playoffs. They're just going to have to wait and see how everything else will play things out before they'll know if they're hosting or if they'll be traveling, as that pitch ticked and fouled back. 0-2 now is the count. We do want to thank everyone that's tuned in this afternoon and into the evening on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the Red Channel. I invite you to join us Sunday as softball will be at Southwest as this pitch fouled off back and out of play. We'll stay at 0-2. That'll be a First American National Bank opening pitch coming your way at 2 o'clock. So winning the 0-2 offering here. Pitch coming. Well, that's the first time today a check swing has not been called for a strike. And that was probably, it still wasn't a strike, but probably one of the closest ones they've had an actual check swing today. But it's been that way for both teams. 1-2 now is the count. King's pitch coming. Deep fly ball, right side, back to the wall, and it's gone. A solo home run from Cullen O'Shea to start the bottom of the 7th. And as we said in the MACJC, it ain't over until it's over, folks. And That's a prime example of it there, a leadoff home run for Cullen O'Shea, and makes it a 4-1 contest. So no outs now. Give a shout out to the Coker family. They're watching in Tennessee, and they were happy to see Brett come up with that clutch 2-hit, especially now after that home run started us off here. That 2-run, 2-out single may prove to be large here in the contest. Hawthorne at the plate. As Eric Coker hitting us up on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Is that pitch in there for a strike? Yes, it is. 1-1 now is the count. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and no outs here as a leadoff home run from Cullen O'Shea makes it a 4-1 contest. That pitch, called a strike. That one was high and outside, and I think that's what you call a 7:53 strike special. As it's been a long day at the ballpark, and the umpire has pretty much anything and everything's been called a strike today. As this pitch popped up, had to chase one that was a little bit out of the strike zone. Shallow right field. Second baseman will go back. That's Ellis, who will squeeze it for the first out of the inning. Fisher Ray now will come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 on the day. He singled, advanced on a wild pitch, but was left stranded back in the 5th inning. And so with 1 out now, Ray will try to spark a rally here for the Bulldogs. 4-1, ICC with the lead. King trying to go the distance here for the Indians. That pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Ray. So 1-0 is the count. Is that pitch missing outside? 2-0 is the count. Now just overheard Don say that Gulf Coast will either be at Pearl River or Meridian. So it appears that they will be on the road for their best-of-3 series. In the event that there might be some Bulldog fans maybe watching here, we do wish the best of luck to the Bulldogs as they enter postseason play. As that pitch missing low, 3-0 now is the count to Fisher Ray. If there's any other teams watching in the league that will be going to postseason play, we wish you luck. That is until you play the Indians, of course. ICC will be joined by LSU Eunice in the Region 23 tournament in Fulton in a couple of weeks. Come out, watch some good baseball. There's a lot of great baseball in the MACJC. As this pitch, and therefore strike, 3-1 now is the count. You throw LSU Eunice in the mix, who, by the way, I think for most part of the season has been ranked #1 in the country. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot of good baseball in Fulton in a couple of weeks. 3-1 offering coming from King. That one inside gets away, and Fisher Ray will head down on the walk. And Coach Collier is going to come out and talk to his pitcher here. Let's take a break and let you hear more about the upcoming ICC 3-day weekends in Fulton.
Itawamba Community College is now offering 3-day weekends. You can be one of the first to take advantage of a compact course schedule with a majority of classes offered Monday through Thursday. Let us customize your education to fit your needs. Become a part of the ICC family and apply today at apply.iccms.edu. ICC, the best start here.
Man, these Red Bull slushes are invigorating, right?
I know it, man. I'm feeling confident, feeling pumped. I want to jump this thing.
I don't know if that's such a good idea, TJ.
No, man, I need help. Can we jump this thing?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Rush in for Sonic's new Red Bull slushes. Half price during happy hour.
And welcome back, as they're going to stay with Austin King in this situation. Whatever Austin said changed Rick's mind, as they looked like they were going to go to Jackson Lancaster out in center field to finish this thing off, but instead Austin said he wants to stick with it here. So this is going to be Castor Lee coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. He was retired 2-3. As that pitch in there for a strike. Fisher Ray's over at first base. You really don't worry about him right now. If that run scores, no big deal. ICC leads it by 3. You just got to find these next 2 outs here if you're the Indians. It was a solo home run by O'Shea that started this inning. As there's a ground ball, third baseman's going to go get it, and it's going to be a foul ball. And 0-2 now is the count here on Castor Lee. Lee, grounder to the second baseman. Could they turn two to end it here? There's one, and there's two. And that does it. Austin King fired up as the Little Caesars double play ends it for the Indians. And let's go back and look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. There's one, and they get it for two. And score that one 4-6-3. And ICC wins it by the final score of 4-1. ICC 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. The Indians get the Bulldogs get 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. We're going to move directly into the Renaissance Bank post-game report here. As let's go ahead and take a look at some Little Caesars stats. It was Kyle Krieger. He was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He walked, scored a run, also had a sacrifice bunt. Jackson Lancaster was 1 for 3. He had a sacrifice fly on an RBI. He did single, reached on a fielder's choice, and struck out. LeBryant Siddell was 2 for 4 on the day. 2 for 3. He had a double and an RBI and a single and a run scored. Justin Medlin, he was 0 for 3 on the day with the walk. Brett Coker was 1 for 4, had that big 2-run single there in the 7th inning to give ICC that 4-run cushion that proved to be pretty big at the end of the day. Lane Domino was 1 for 3 with a single and a walk and a stolen base. Ray Sandroni 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Heron was 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk. He did score a run. And Braden Ellis was 0 for 2 with the walk as well. Austin King will be our Sonic star of the game as he scattered 3 hits, gave up 1 run. It was earned. And he also had 5 Renaissance Bank strikeouts. Ike Williams 0 for 3. Miller Hancock was 1 for 3 with a single. Davis, after a blistering start to this day, was 0 for 3 in Game 2. Brandon Parker, 0 for 2 with the walk. Cullen O'Shea was 1 for 2 with the walk and a home run. Obviously, RBI and a run scored there. D. Hawthorne was 0 for 3 on the day. Fisher Ray was 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. Castor Lee was 0 for 3. He did ground into that game-ending Little Caesars double play there in the bottom of the 7th. Garrett Cannon was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Well, that's going to do it here from Perkinston. Our next broadcast will be Sunday as the ICC softball team will travel to Southwest Mississippi for a doubleheader there to wrap up the regular season. Gulf Coast, their season will continue as they will be in the postseason play. For ICC baseball, they will have to wait a while. It's going to be 2 Wednesdays from today before they'll retake the field. So a big layoff there for the Indians, and sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, and coaches like to play, so we'll see how Rick and the Indians do prepare for postseason play. Well, that's going to do it. ICC picks up a win, 10-9 in Game 1, 4-1 in Game 2 to complete the sweep of the Bulldogs. ICC improves to 39-6-1 overall, 24-4 as they conclude conference play. And then Gulf Coast, they slip to 26-16, 16-12 inside conference play. So, this is simply where I say for Adam Gore. I'm going to say for Adam Gore and Brother Chris, because Brother Chris has been sending me a lot of updates today on some scores. It's been a great evening, and it's always good to be an ICC Indian, especially when you get to sweep over the Bulldogs here on the road. Again, we'll be back in action on the Red Channel on Sunday as softball travels to Southwest. That'll be a 2 o'clock First American National Bank opening pitch there from Summit. This has been Adam Gore for the ICC Sports Network. Have a blessed evening. And as always, roll Tribe.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.